Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only Mr. Greg Dickerson. How you doing, sir?
Doing great, Michael. Good to see you.
I love the fact that you're just out and about doing deals, getting busy. I love your story, right? Truck in a toolbox, our first conversation several years ago. I thought I would take the opportunity to ask you, when you look at all the amazing stuff you've been a part of, you've done, that you will do, um, I want to see what do you think are the three key traits, characteristics, whatever, that really have allowed you to be successful? What are those three things?
So, number one, all you know is what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. So, always better yourself, educate yourself, continue your education. The minute you think you know everything is the minute you're done. So, I was fortunate enough to realize early on I didn't know a thing. And the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. And every day I'm looking for opportunities to gain an edge, gain an advantage, learn something new I don't know from every interaction. When you and I talk, when I meet just somebody at the grocery store, I'm a seeker of wisdom in every circumstance. That's number one. Be a seeker of wisdom, constantly, continually develop yourself, never stop learning in every aspect, business and personal, whatever your thing is. Number two is focus. Focus is 100% of the game. You got to keep the goal in mind in front of you at all times, and you need to focus on that. Distraction is the devil's foil, right? Or whatever that quote goes. You know, distraction is huge. You need to focus. And the biggest mistake people make is they step away from what's working for them. Instead of doubling, tripling, 10xing what's working for them already, they want to step away from that and do something else or a bunch of other else's. So, whatever's working for you, double, triple, quadruple, 10x down on that. Focus is 100% of the game. Maximize it, put it on autopilot before you step away and do something else. And number three, take action. So, how does success happen? You think it, you speak it, you do it. You have the idea first, the means to implement it, faith in it. That's how success happens. So you all of those things that I talked about pouring into yourself, you have to act on it. You can educate yourself all day long, but if you don't take action and put it into action, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. I think when I look at your story and I internalize it, I love those three. I'll just give you my three of what I've seen for you. First, something I think you have your superpower is, again, and you've said it a couple of times in our shows, is don't say you can't afford something. Ask yourself how, right? And you did that at a very young age. And I think that it's a gift. It's an underappreciated gift that I wish, I had. I still find myself on occasion saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, which, again, with your help and coaching and advice, I'm trying to get better at every day. So I
And
think
not
that is,
just a want or a have, but an accomplishment. If there's
yeah,
anything you want to do or know, instead of saying, well, I can't do that or I can't know that, well, how can you? How can you make it happen? Whatever it is.
yeah. The number two is it's kind of your last one, take action, but your ability just to go, I'll call it all in and focus, back when you were spinning up that second job, when you were working in the restaurant industry. And then you just started adding team members. And then pretty soon all you were doing was driving up and down the freeway, quoting jobs, and your ability to add more and more business. It's like you were a chess player and you weren't even playing, you weren't even looking at the board. You were making all these moves that were really amazing. And then equally, you got out when you wanted to, right? You're like, okay, time to shut this down, do something else, sell it off, cash your check, and all of that. And then lastly, what I've really seen in you is you're a giver, right? You've been coming back every week for seemingly 2.5 years. Never asked for a thing. You show up. You don't make excuses. Your giving ability, not only to me in this channel, but to your students and followers, is pretty amazing. So I think those are three things as well that I've seen that I personally respect and admire.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And to I like to put things in practical, applicable terms. And a couple of things you hit on was, the whole thing about growing the company in pieces and evolving into different roles. So going back to I didn't know what I didn't know, that's an advantage too. I didn't know I couldn't build $1 million, $2 million house when I'd never built one before. I didn't know I couldn't do that. So
Right.
what I did was I said, how can I make that happen? I don't know how to do it. So I went and hired people that did. So as I grew my company, if there was something I wanted to do as an organization or a company or a goal to achieve, I went and found somebody else who's been there, done that for years and been very successful at it. I brought them on board to do it for me and with me.
Mm.
And the other thing is I know my limitations. I'm a builder. I like to build, not just buildings and houses and things like that, but companies, people, opportunities. I like to build. I don't like to run something once it's up and running. Once I've got it built and it's going, I turn it over, let them run it. I monitor the KPIs. I lead them, help them, build the rest of it for me. But I'm a startup guy. I love the front end, the startup and all that. And
That's
like you
awesome.
said, that's when I can really focus and dig in. I mean, I've got ADD like everybody else. I'm not like disabled with it, but I can focus when the time comes, but I get distracted too. Like I've got 10 or 12, tabs open at all times. I'm reading 6 books all the time and I got ideas all the time, but I know how to focus it, channel it, and use it as a strength,
Yeah.
not let it distract me and hold me back as a weakness. And I know what to focus on and what not to and when. I enjoy the ADD part. It just keeps me stimulated. My mind's always moving. And, so practical, applicable, in terms of those types of things. And if there's something you want to do and you have no clue how to do it, go find somebody who's done it, bring them on and get after it.
I love it. Again, folks, you might want to watch this episode a couple of times. There's so much wisdom in this, and yeah, just awesome. Where can people find you, Greg?
GregDickerson.com.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.